Hey baby, hey! I don't know why I'm starting the video like that, but today we're gonna mix some music. And you guys have asked me to do videos like this in the past where I kind of just go through the mixing session of a song, and that's what we're gonna do today. And I think the video, or the song rather, is a rather fun one, which is why I think this is going to be a good subject for a video. I normally don't like to do these types of videos for two reasons. One, it's like, while you're mixing a song, if you were to show someone the product in the middle of a mixing session, I mean, it could sound nothing like the end product's going to sound like. I'm still working through so many things in this song and mixing challenges I'm having, and there's parts that I think I'm going to not play on the final mix down to my 2-track. But I think I'm going to show them today anyway, just for the purpose of learning and kind of just showing you my mindset of, okay, why do I think this part doesn't fit quite right for that part of the song? And, maybe I'll show you a little bit how my brain is working for the song. Now, today's video is sponsored by Safe Microphone Usage, and we are going to put a rubber on this microphone. Now, usually I'm using an EV635A, as you know, usually for my narrations, which I think is often good for these types of videos, since it's omnidirectional, I can kind of move around, and the microphone gets roughly the same decibel level. But I'm opting for this EV-RE18 because it is a hypercardioid or a supercardioid, or I forget which one it is, but one of those cardioids pickup pattern, and I'm trying to block out the sound of my air conditioner downstairs. I had to turn off the air conditioner in this room because it was just bleeding through too much for the microphone, and I think it'll kind of ruin the playback for you when we start listening to this song. I'm just putting this thing on as a joke. I was just trying to make a joke about safe microphone usage, but it might help, so maybe we'll leave it on. And let's just get started, because I'll just keep talking. I just got back from Flea Market. Dude, I got some good Flea Market finds. Maybe at the end of this video we'll go through them. Some of them are music related, but they're not all. Alright, so today's song is actually a cover. I don't know if you're familiar with Michael Yonkers, but this is a Michael Yonkers cover. If you're not familiar with him, yeah, he's kind of like a 70s garage, one of the first home recordists, OG home recordists. I don't know how else to kind of explain it. It's experimental music, it's raw, it's loose, it's live, it's fun. It's what I would consider, the quintessential like garage type of idea. As I say all the time, I use that word as a kind of catch-all, but you'll catch my drift if you listen to some Michael Yonkers music. It is very fun to listen to. So this song, when we went into it, this is a song me and my friend Alex are doing for a bigger project where we're doing all covers. We've never done covers before, so this has been a really fun experience for us, picking a song and doing our own interpretation of it. So when we did this song, as we do all of our songs, we don't do a lot of practice time. We usually like the song to just naturally, what happens in us going through a couple takes, that kind of loose energy is usually what we kind of prefer. So for this song, it fits perfectly, and that's going to be kind of like the overarching theme of this video, I guess, is how to use looseness to your advantage. And you're going to see a couple times, I'm going to point out a few things throughout the song where it's a little awkward, a little minor mistakes, but it fits so perfectly. And if you listen to the original version of this song, which I guess I haven't said the name, Microminiature Love. So Michael Yonkers, Microminiature Love. And if you're familiar with John Dwyer, he did a whole covers album just on Michael Yonkers. This is just a song and a whole album. But that's a really fun listen to and interpretation as well. I'm losing track. We're going to go through each tracks here. Originally, when I turned on the video camera, I was just going to show you one specific thing, but I think there's so much to learn from this song today that I think it'll be fun. We're going to go through each track individually. I already have my compressor set up, how I think it's going to be set up, so I'll explain my some settings and decisions I was making. I think we might add a compressor to another track, but the problem is I'm out of compressors on my rack here. I could get one that's not plugged in on the rack over there, but we'll see if we find it necessary. I might just have to ride the fader for one part, which is not a big deal at all. The levels are pretty much where they're going to be, and I just realized I'm talking way too much. Let me just play the song, okay? Let's listen to the song the whole way through once, and then I'll start talking again. I apologize. All right, hold on. All right, here we go. I might have to adjust the volume.
just like a clock. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tick-tock. Tick-tock, tick-tick-tock-tock.
Tell him to be careful when he crosses the boulevard. There's no policeman on duty at this hour.
Sound the horn and ring the bell. Heaven's turning into hell. Life is turning into death. Struggling for every breath. Fathers and a glory babe. He sure knows what's good for me. Nine of fathers and a glory babe. Crying, dying, sent to be. Crying, dying, sent to be. Crying, dying, sent to be. The sun can roast your head. Mold is thriving on your bread. Rats are drinking of your wine. Feeble, fat, and feeling fine. He sure knows what's good for me. Nine of fathers and a glory babe. We're crying, dying, sent to be. Crying, dying, sent to be. Crying, dying, sent to be. Microminiature love.
All right, sorry, I muted myself. That's basically it. There's a lot going on there. I want to break down a lot there. First of all, the intro to the song is incredibly weird. That's originally what this video was going to be about, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Another thing is, hopefully you're paying attention to the looseness there. One, the song on me on the drums is putting a good amount of shuffle on those drums, and I'll almost call it like a drunken looseness. Think of like like the old kung fu, like drunken guy. I forget what that style's called, drunken style. Listen, I ain't the Wu-Tang Clan. The point is, it's loose. I'm putting a lot of swing on the drums. Some might say a little too much. I say just enough, okay? There's a couple guitar parts that, again, I said earlier I'm going to mute some stuff. The guitar lead parts that I added on to Alex's rhythm guitar. At some parts, it's just too much. I was going a little too crazy with... I was using my MXR digital delay to get like kind of like a phaser flanger sound, but I was trying to go for weird, and I think it's a little too weird, especially in the first chorus. In the second chorus, I was a little subdued with my playing, and I think it sounds better. There's two guitar lead tracks. I am layering them, and one of them, you know what? Let's just start from track one. We'll go through each track. So I'll explain all the gear I used for these tracks, why I used it, what kind of sounds we're getting. And I just realized this video is probably going to be like an hour long, but I think you guys will enjoy it. And I think now is a good time for me to pitch my album. Because, you know what? This video is going to have no ads on it. If it's up to me, I don't know what YouTube's going to do, but there should be no ads on it, okay? Instead, I'm going to make you consider buying a copy of my LP. $25 shipped to your door, okay? That's my pitch. The only pitch you will ever hear me say is to buy my music, okay? Enough of that. So, today, if it hasn't been obvious, we're playing back on this Lee Stitched HC24. This machine is, like, perfect for these types of videos, because I could stop, rewind, fast forward, stop, play, really quickly, and I could explain things to you. So I'm going to be doing that a lot. I let you listen to the whole song front to back, but now I'm going to do a lot of stopping, so it might be a little jarring. I just want you to have some context of the song before I start doing that. So this machine is perfect for that. You know, with the tape machine, you gotta wait for it to rewind and stuff like that. It's a little less quick, and during my normal recording process, that doesn't affect my recording any bit, but for these types of videos, this is definitely really nice. So, I'll be using that a lot. So let's start with track 1. We're gonna skip kind of the intro for going through these tracks here, because the intro is it's not even an instrumental, right? So we'll talk about that later. Let's start with track 1. This is a bass drum mic. I have my Electro Voice 664 pretty much right up against the skins of the bass drum. Actually, that's not true. I probably had it maybe like 6 inches off. And I am running that into my tube preamplifier here. Let's just take a listen to that. That's this track here. I have it pretty low right now. So that's giving quite a good amount of attack on the bass drum. You could hear it in the background, Alex's guitar as we're tracking live. It's so low, it's basically just bleed. I usually, in the past, have not been doing a bass drum microphone, but I'm finding in this new room that I'm in, my whole drum setup is completely different for me to get a similar sound that I was getting downstairs in the other room where I had a kind of a different geometry to work with. So that's that track. Not much going on there. Now let's listen to... This is... You know what? Let's listen to this one first. This is the crotch microphone. So I have an EV635A at the crotch of the drum set. It's coming from the front. It's trying to get a picture of the whole sound. And I am running that through my Bogan amplifier. Now, my Bogan amplifier is a really, really high-gain, dirty... it's basically a dirty box. It's not meant to be a microphone preamp for in a recording sense. It's a power amplifier. I'm pushing the levels. I'm getting a lot of distortion. I'm getting some really good saturation. I'm digging it. It's really meant to just be like a trash can type of sound, and because it's an omnidirectional microphone, an EV635A, it's getting a good picture of everything, and nothing is colored. When I say that, an omnidirectional microphone does not have off-axis coloration. For example, if you had an SM57 as the crotch microphone position, it's going to be avoiding some from the back of the microphone, but it's not going to be silencing that stuff entirely, and what you do here is going to have its EQ shifted. It is colored. So it's sometimes useful to have an omnidirectional microphone in the crotch position. I like it for that reason. And yeah, let's just listen to that. I'll keep talking, you know me. I have it panned. So, one, if you notice, I had that panned. And, I mean, it's not that great of a sounding microphone. The body's really coming from my third microphone, and this is the front of kit microphone. I'm using my Bumblebee RM5, and I'm sending that through the Dan Alexander 1272 style preamp up there. Let's take a listen to that. This is also panned. Bring it to the center. So this is like the most natural of the three microphones, right? Like, that sounds pretty decent. I mean, as well as you could in this room, the way the setup I have. And that is what I'm using kind of has, like, what you were probably considering your overhead, like your main image of the kit. I don't approach drum recording like that mindset at all. Especially recently with me utilizing a crotch microphone. I'm not... and you'll notice, again, I have these microphones panned. That is a really peculiar way to do a drum sound, especially at least in the modern sense. You know, the modern sense is like a stereo image that it mimics a drum set, right? Like with the cymbals panned and everything. It's not like that. I have two different microphones with two different sound signatures, and I'm hard panning them. And this is only the second song I've ever done it on. I did it on another cover for the project me and Alex are working on, and I don't know. It's fun. I've been liking it. You know, I'm new to the whole stereo gang, brother. I'm usually mono this, mono that, mono this, that. But listen, I'm trying to do my foray into stereo. Now, what gets interesting is I'm adding parallel compression to all three of these microphones, and that parallel compression is centered. Now, to some of you right now, you're probably having a hissy fit. You're like, oh my God, you have your microphones hard panned, and then you have parallel compression to these tracks in the center? Like, what are you doing? It's going to be pumping. It's going to be blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Shut up. It works, okay? I like it. Deal with it, okay? Let's take a listen to those three microphones, and then we'll add the parallel compression. So I'm sending, let's see, I'm sending the bass drum microphone and the crotch microphone to this Ashley CG85E. It's just a VCA compressor. I probably have it. Yeah, I have it on infinite ratio. I'm limiting it, right? It's parallel compression. I'm just sending that track. I'm not sending that main front of kit microphone to that right now. I don't know why. I'm learning like you two, like us people here in real time. This is my first time sitting down with this song in a few days. The last time I sat down at this was for hours at a time, and I was being a crazy madman, adding stuff. So I don't remember exactly what I did, but let's just take a listen. This is how it was panned. The bass drum I have in the center. Let's get a little louder. I don't know. To me, that sounds pretty good. I didn't even add the parallel compression. Let's do that. You know, the effect of parallel compression, listening to that in solo is actually not that very useful. We'll do it now, but it's more useful to hear it in the context of the song. So this is the parallel compression. You hear it's pretty low. Again, it's not that very useful listening to that. What is interesting is that was panned. That was hard panned to the right. So I take back what I said. What I actually did was the microphone I was sending to the parallel compression, I had them both hard panned, so actually there shouldn't be any pumping. But regardless, I'm still having a parallel compression with one microphone on one side, and the other left channel track, the front of kit microphone, I have no compression on that. So not a very typical drum recording playback setting at all. I mean, I say it 1,000 times. I don't really like the modern 8 microphone plus drum sound. I don't know. I like it garagey, so it's not everyone's cup of tea, but that's that. So let us now go to the next track. And hopefully I don't have to do minimal editing with the audio levels here. So the next track was Alex's live guitar. So me and him were tracking live at the same time. So his guitar is going through my twin reverb. We're picking that up with this microphone, the EV-RE18. And I'm sending that through my Shure microphone mixer to M67 there. You know, getting some dirt on it, getting some grit, getting some uglies in it. And I had his amplifier outside this room, the door closed. So I was getting some isolation, which is actually pretty surprising that I did that for this song, because me and him usually like to do the opposite, and doing a Michael Yonkers cover with isolation feels kind of wrong. But that's what we wound up doing. Let's take a listen to that. And actually right now I have it being sent through this Ashley compressor here. I have a ratio of 3, slow attack, fast release, and I'm actually putting quite a bit of compression on it. It doesn't really need it that much, but there's some parts of the song where he's going, bum, bum, dun, 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 dun. You know, there's a pretty big volume difference with his playing as the parts go on, as you'll hear it. Let's just take a listen. This is the chorus, so he's playing much louder, but hear how quiet it gets now. I'm an idiot. Let me bypass the compressor, then you could hear it. Duh. Do you hear how much louder the if you can hear how much it's louder, one, keep in mind you're listening through this to YouTube, and maybe you just need a little more practice hearing kind of volume levels. It takes a little bit of practice, surprisingly, to kind of hear that sometimes. So let's add the compression as we go here. Let's add it. Oh, hear how much that comes up? Off. I'm not going to stall that much. I know when you're watching it through YouTube, it's really hard to hear. It's much easier to hear in person, trust me. But that's what it sounds like. You can hear there's a lot of grit going on. There's a lot of saturation, both from the guitar amp itself to the Shure microphone mixer. Again, we're just... I like just pushing shit to its limits, you know? Okay, so the next track is Alex on bass. This is an overdub. And we're adding a little bit of fuzz to it, and we're doing a DI into the Dan Alexander 1272 preamp up there. Let's take a listen to that. That I have, I must be sending that through some compression. Let me see here. Wait a minute. I might have recorded with compression. Now I don't remember. Because right now, I'm adding no compression to the bass guitar, and that's very atypical of me. But let's just take a listen. I remember why. We fuzzed out the bass guitar sound. There's no reason for me to add compression. You know, when you're fuzzing out a bass guitar sound, you're cutting the levels pretty even. You know, in hindsight, I'm not in love with that guitar sound, but it seems to kind of work with the song. You know, it's following the guitar the whole song, so it doesn't really need to be that great, but we probably could have spent a little more time and got a better sounding tone there. The next thing is going to be Alex's main vocals. We're doing a typical SM57 into the Dan Alexander. Let's take a listen. And this is going to have some compression on it. I believe I'm sending that to the DBX 160X here. Ratio of 4.
9 our fathers and a glory be.
That's some reverb.
We're crying, dying, sent
Oh, wow.
to be. Crying, dying, sent to be. Crying, dying, sent to be. Micromin.
First of all, I didn't realize how much reverb I had on the vocals, but there was other tracks also going to that. So let's go to a part of the song where it's not the chorus.
Miniature love. Making time just like a clock.
You hear a lot of earphone bleed.
Tick tock, tick tock.
Now that's my vocals. So that's what his vocals sound like. The next thing is going to be me doing vocals both. There's one part of the song where I go tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick, and it's hard panned left and right channel. If you listen to the original Michael Yonkers version, you could hear him doing like this to the pan knob as it must have been one single microphone take where it's tick tock, as opposed to the way I did it. I split it up into two different takes, and I'm sending them both through some light compression, and my vocal parts also come in on the chorus. We'll listen to that. Well, let's listen to the tick tock first. Just give it a second. Awkward silence. Where is it? Try that again.
Life is turning into death.
Oh, here we go. Sorry.
Tick. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tick tock. Tock, tick tock, tick tick tock tock.
Stupid. Let's just go to the choruses.
And ring the bell. Strong. He sure knows what's good for me. We're crying,
Here we go.
dying, sent to be. Crying, dying, sent to be. Crying, dying, sent to be.
So yeah, that's me doubling up on the chorus. I'm sorry if this is kind of boring. I don't know. maybe going through each track isn't the best. Let's just speed through the rest. The next thing are 2 guitar leads. They're both mimicking each other, both part-wise. I was improvising as I went. One of them, I'm going for a cleaner, distorted sound. The other one, it's literally just straight fuzz box on one part. We'll listen to that part as we get to it. It's too much. I think I'm going to keep that. I'm either going to get rid of it entirely or put it way low in the mix. And let's just take a listen to the whole thing again and kind of solo some stuff. All right.
Microminiature love, making time just like a clock. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tick tock. Tock, tick tock, tick tick tock tock.
Very
Tell him
cheesy.
to be careful when he crosses the boulevard. There's no policeman on duty at this hour.
Sound the horn and ring the bell. Heaven.
All right, so, I mean, I think you should get the kind of basis of the song. You kind of see how everything fits together. A couple parts, I'll explain kind of the looseness part of it. So again, us recording this, we play it maybe 5 times in front of another. Okay, that's the riff. Okay, that's how many bars, and then we just hit record, and you could tell like we're kind of like uneasy in some certain parts. My shuffle's a little off in some parts. You could hear his bass overdub. We actually wind up changing the riff a little bit because I realized we were actually hearing it wrong the first time. We were playing it wrong, or he was playing it wrong on guitar when we were doing the tracking, and I realized we're actually going to the wrong note. So when Alex was recording this live and doing the overdubs, he was so used to playing it the other way because he was practicing it that way. And then at the last second, I'm like, wait a minute, we have a note wrong. So like he was a little off, but it wind up working out so perfectly. Again, if you listen to like the source material, it's loose. I mean, it's a couple of jabronis in their garage having some fun. I mean, it's loose and it's good, okay? So that was kind of what we were going for. Now, let's talk about these intro. This video is taking a route that I did not think it was going to go at all. It's kind of difficult doing these types of videos, in videos in general. I don't know. Let's talk about the intro. So the intro, let's just isolate what's going on first. We have some weird noises going on. Then it sounds like some statics coming in, and then there's some female voice that comes in. So the intro wound up kind of happening kind of like an accident. So Alex wanted to put some saxophone on this song, and we knew we wanted to do something crazy with the intro, something weird, something experimental. So he picked up the saxophone, and he was just going, just playing like nonsense. And we're like, well, let's record that and see what happens. So we take my 2-track, we record that at 7.5 inches per second. And this is a 2-track machine, right? So I had that recording onto one channel, 7.5 inches per second. And I was like, you know what? I have an idea. What if we take that, we take that tape, we turn it backwards, we put it at 15 inches per second, and we record you doing a different saxophone part. And this time I told him, play slower, play single notes. Don't go slow and slow. And I wound up adding some reverb that was being recorded onto the tape. So basically, what we had there is 2 saxophone parts playing in opposite directions of one another. One's going forward, one's going backwards, and they're going at 2 different speeds. And what I wound up doing is I flipped it again. So now the slow guitar part, we're going to play the tape at 15 inches per second, and the second saxophone part that we recorded, that's going to be playing in reverse at 1 time speed with a backwards reverb effect, because I recorded it with reverb, so it kind of sounds like this ghost sound. Let's take a listen to that, actually. It's almost like a Beatles Revolution 9 type of sound. I mean, it sounds cool with that backwards reverse reverb. And then what I wound up doing was recording both of the saxophone tracks on the tape to the Alesis HD24 in real time. So whatever spot that I pressed record and play while doing all this, it was just all completely by random, right? And I was doing this intentionally. You know, with this machine in specific, it's bare bones as possible. The transport is really crude, so you can't be exact. It's very hard to be exact with this machine. So I use this to my advantage, and I go balls out. Whenever happens, happens. And I swear on the love of Fender, okay, that when I do that, I force myself to just give in to whatever is going to by chance happen. Some magic always winds up happening. And that was the case for this song, and you'll see why in a second. Let me just play it. So, also on the tape I was using, it's actually the tape that's still on there right now. I use this as like my working special effects reel. I don't even know what formulation of tape it is. I just have it on the reel. Whenever I need to do something really quick and just some fun effect that I'm going to do backwards or a different speed, I throw that on and I just start recording. So there's a bunch of random stuff on that tape. And I was recording over, when he was doing the saxophone part, I was recording over some guitar part. I think I was doing a reverse guitar part for the last song I did, Where Is My Mind? Where's a backwards guitar part? And so it was just me noodling. And you'll hear it come in right before the whole band kicks in. And as I was doing this in live time, recording this at random spots on the tape, no planning, it wound up coming in right where it did. And I recoiled when I heard it because I was like, oh my God, what is that? What is that noise? And I turned to look at Alex, and he's like, dude, I love it. And let's just take a listen to that, because it's so weird, but it winds up fitting the song so much. So there's that fast saxophone part, double speed. That part. You hear that part? I don't even know what that is, but it's some completely fuzzed out guitar part that I was recording one day. It sounds like there's delay on it. I don't know what the hell is happening. It comes in at such an odd time, yet it's amazing. I know you're probably listening to it and going, that sounds so bad, so stupid, it doesn't fit the song, but after listening to it like 50 times, I'm like, that's the best thing I've ever done recording ever. And it just happened by chance. It was just something that was on the tape. This is why you got to get a 2-track machine. The amount of fun you could have. Let's listen to that in full context now. Let's go to the beginning. And I'm going to mute the other special effects going on in the beginning for now. Let's just listen to the saxophone part. I don't know. I love it, man. I love it. Everything, the way how that intro turned out, I just love. And if you notice, the two saxophone parts stop right before the rest of the instrumentation comes in. That was just completely by chance. And I think it was the third time I did. I played back the tape and recorded onto the Alesis with the rest of the instrumentation. And each time it's just like a random point. I'm pressing play on both and recording, right? It's like I'm like adjusting when the parts come in and come out, and that third time they stop right before the instrumentation comes in, and that crazy guitar part comes in. And I love it. Let's add a little reverb now to that track with the slow reverse saxophone, where that electric guitar part comes fuzzing in. Let's add a little reverb, and the reverb's panned a little bit to the other side, and let's see what kind of effect we could get. Let's just skip ahead a little bit. Dude, that's electric. Let's solo that for a second. Solo that with the reverb. Dude, that's so wild. I don't know what to say. That's really wild. All right, so let's add the rest of the weird intro stuff. So I wound up adding, I was taking the end of a guitar cable, plugging it into my amplifier, and just touching metal things. So I added that in. Why I was doing this, I don't know. It just fit. It almost fit like this madman, like, mental hospital vibe. Almost like One Flew Over the Cuckoo Nest, or Medication Time for those well-informed. Yeah, I don't know. I just added it. And then I found this public use film about a mother whose son is like a bad apple, or he's got something, a few screws loose. He's got a few cards short of a full deck. He's a few plates short of a picnic. You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense here? So anyway, it's just a random snippet of that. Let's just listen to that.
And how did you feel right at that moment when you realized they had all of the evidence?
I suppose I was angry.
What the hell is that? I don't know, but it fits in the serial killer vibe. I don't know. You could hear. I also play another part of that film later in the first verse. She's like talking about the police officers. Let's go to that part.
When he crosses the boulevard, there's no policeman on duty at this hour.
Like, I don't know. I just love putting random samples in my music. I think it's fun. What else? There were some parts I wanted to point out where, again, I make mistakes, and also Alex makes mistakes. I think I brought up the bass guitar being... You could hear he misses the note at the end of the riff a lot, and, like, you'll hear him adjust the bass note, and it winds up just fitting with the garage vibe, and just a good, just like, this is loose. It's literally like a capture of what me and Alex are doing. Like, when you're recording music, it's literally like what you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. So, like, because me and Alex are playing the song with one another for the first time of the night, playing through it maybe 3 times with one another, getting confused with how many bars when the chorus comes in, and we're just saying, screw it, let's just record it whenever happens. Because we're going into it with that attitude, that's what you're going to get out of it. And I get it. Listen, I know there's some people that are like, that's terrible. And I don't like to do that with some songs, but with other songs, that type of approach just winds up working out so good, and all the little mistakes you make just add to it. There's a part of the second verse, immediately when I come in the second verse, me and Alex both screw up. And he wanted to re-record it because he missed a guitar part, one note. And I told him no, because you can't even realize. He notices it because he was playing it and he realized he messed up. But when you're listening back, you don't realize he missed that note. We'll listen to that. And you could also hear I screw up a little bit on the drums. I come in with the snare, even though I'm just supposed to be going with my hi-hat. So let's go to that part and listen to it. That's the part I want to view. More part. Alright, listen to come back. I can't even call that a mistake, because you're probably listening back and saying that sounds normal. I guess it's a mistake in the sense that I didn't intend to do that, but it's in time. It makes sense. If I don't even know if you could know the part I'm talking about that I screw up.
Dying centipede, crying, dying centipede.
It's that snare. I didn't mean to do that snare. The boom, ba. Again, it fits, but it doesn't match the rest of the song. I don't know. I guess it's not a mistake. It's just what kind of happens when you're doing live recording like that. There's these spontaneous things that it winds up being the final product, and it's fun. Now, you probably also didn't hear Alex messing up, so let's just solo the guitar, the live tracks that we did. So it's all the drums and that guitar part. I actually missed it. I was enjoying the group so much I missed it. I'm sorry. Alright, right now. His guitar part, he just, instead of the boom, 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 he forgets the ba, ba, ba. It's like, I love it. Like, Alex, my brother, it's a mistake, but it just makes it a little odd, a little different than the first verse. I don't know, it's just fun. You know, same verse, second as the first, blah, blah, blah. All right, what else can we talk about? We've talked about so much. I think we should probably end the video, or I'm going to keep talking. I don't know, who cares, right? There's no ads, there's no nothing. I could keep talking. What do you guys think of, one, the song, two, this types of video format? Or just talking kind of like random about stuff. I don't know how interesting it is. I don't know if I would watch someone else do it, but you guys have to give me some feedback. This whole time I'm using this as a master bus compressor. So I have a ratio of 3, slow attack, fast release. I really should only be kissing the reduction here. I haven't really been paying attention to it this whole video. Let's see where we're at. We're barely hitting it.
Razor sun can roast your head.
I mean, I'm getting less than 2 dBs of reduction. I'm barely kissing it. Maybe we'll try to increase the volume a little bit, get a little more. You know, whatever. Every song's going to be a little different. It kind of sounds good the way it is, so let's just, for experimentation purposes, push the levels a little bit, which will make the compressor work a little more. Now, don't be confused, because the mix is going to get a little louder. Just because it's louder does not mean better, right? So keep that in mind. Let's just rewind a little bit to a random point of the song.
Sound the horn and ring the bell. Heaven's turning into hell. Life is turning into death. Struggling for every breath.
I don't know, it's hard to say. It's very slight, and I'm sure you cannot tell the difference on YouTube, even if you think you can. I don't know, what else, guys? You know, I was talking about possibly adding compressor. I was going to add some to the sample, but I think I'm just going to do some fader riding. I have some mixing left to do. I think I'm going to end this video because I could just keep talking endlessly, and I don't know if it's that interesting, so let me know what you guys think. And get swiggy with it. I don't know what that means. Is that like Will Smith? Alright. Oh, you guys want to talk about my flea market finds? I'll be right back. Okay, here we go. So, let's just get out with the biggest thing here. The best find of today. A nice number 6 Stanley Bailey hand plane. This has got a corrugated bottom. Usually not as sought after as the flat bottom bench planes, but honestly, I have one like this, and I can't tell the difference. And you can usually get these a little cheaper. Usually people are asking a pretty penny for these. This one is in fantastic condition. The handles, there's nothing wrong with the handles. Even the iron is in good condition, which is basically consumable, but I mean, I can't believe how good of condition this hand plane is in, and the price I got it at. The guy wanted $125, and to be honest, that's actually a pretty decent price for this. It's usually what I see. I've been wanting to buy one of these for longer than high school. I've been doing woodworking a long time, and I've always wanted a bench plane this long. I guess this would be a jointer plane, I believe you would refer to it as. And finally today I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it, and I bought it. So there was another one there. It was a number 7, which is right here. Maybe it's a little bit longer. I would have bought that one. Why didn't I buy that one? Oh, I remember why. I was looking at the flatness of the sole. With the hand plane, or any woodworking equipment, the flatter this is, the flatter your material is going to be. And by looking at your eyes are really good at seeing that type of stuff. And this one was way straighter than the other one. You could tell with the other one there was a little bit of a belly. And a belly on your hand plane is like the worst thing. You're probably wondering right now, why am I watching this? Why am I this guy talking about his garage sale or flea market finds? I don't know. In this, if you're wondering what this is, you don't know what that is, it's a slide rule. The reason I bought this is actually a pretty nice one. It has a lot more scales than I'm used to. I'm going to bring this to work. Not necessarily used every day, but it is fun to use. There's a lot more scales on it than I'm used to, so I'm going to have to learn how to use those. This is just for $1. Just an outlet expander, whatever. Scissors, but not just any scissors. You see, it's got like a profile to it. These are really nice. Paid $3, maybe actually even less than $3. I paid $3 for this brass dish. Look at this. This is nice. I guess it's like, I don't know if it was meant to be an ashtray, but either way, it's very nice. I got some expired film for $1 each. I don't even know why I bought these. The lady just wound up throwing them in. I was like, all right, I'll pay $1 each for them. They're from 2009 expired, so they're definitely no bueno anymore. I bought the only thing music related, these cassette players. I did not pay a lot for them at all. I paid basically pennies, because there's a good chance they don't work. And then the last thing I bought, this is what we call a durometer. This measures the hardness of material. Now, you might be wondering, why the hell do you want to measure the hardness of stuff? I don't know. I'm an engineer. I like this type of stuff, okay? And I bought it for $20. That's a great deal. This is worth more than $20. And I'm actually going to test it for the first time live on camera. So this is what they call a Type A durometer. There's a certain level of hardnesses that you could test. This is the A classifications. Now, this is oh, geez, I just dropped it. You don't want to do that. This is a brand new sole here, and it should be somewhere around, I don't know, 65, 67. You know, that's pretty typical for a boot. And we're going to do it live on camera here. Let's see how accurate this thing is. It's kind of hard to see it backwards, but I'm pretty sure it's saying around 65, right? So that must be accurate, because that should be what this is around, you know, give or take. I mean, it's close enough for my sake. I might be able to use that at work, because I work with a lot of type of material, so that one actually might be useful. I'm going to bring that to work. Okay, we're ending this video. See you guys later.
Merch! Hey, Merch!
Keep yelling, you big ape.